first game, I want to point out something. Patriots at Pittsburgh, 6-point spread right now. Steelers are favored, but over/under set at 30. That's one of the lowest we've seen in NFL recent history.
It's the lowest one of the season. With Pickett out and with the Patriots offense being objectively by a huge margin the worst in the league, worse than the Jets, I would say, somehow, some way. You're expected not a whole lot of points, and as you said, the Steelers are 6-point favorites. I like the Steelers to win this and to cover, except, man, expect it to be a defensive game. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, we almost have to take the under. It's historically low. I mean, do you see a world where either team scores 15 points?
No, because you are getting unstoppable defense against a very stoppable offense twice. And so, I don't know. I mean, it being that low gives me some pause, but I mean, by all means, Mark, if you're feeling the vibe, I encourage you to take it.
I just feel like an over/under that low, you almost have to take it.
I mean, the Patriots scored 6 total points last week, so, and I think the Steelers.
No, the Patriots scored 0.
0. Sorry, that game had 6 total points.
So and the Steelers don't have. Who's the Steelers' backup quarterback?
Trubisky.
Oh man. Yeah, give me the under.
All right.
Putting the under in my best bets. I just feel like, I mean, it's an NFL record low. I feel like a lot of people are gonna bet the over for that reason. So I'm gonna go with the under. There's no way those teams score 30 combined points. I'm sorry.
I'm here for it. Texans at Jets. Jets are getting 5.5. Texans obviously missing Tank Dell, which is a pretty massive blow to their offense. Jets probably starting Zach Wilson again, from what the speculation is right now. Jets are getting 5.5 points at home. I don't know how to feel about this game at all.
I like the Jets to cover, man.
I think I do too, just because the defense will show up. Give Stroud some tough to deal with looks, and Stroud is missing the guy that he likes to go to in hairy situations. So I do think that I think in general, missing a star wide receiver doesn't totally move the needle that much.
But for a rookie,
I was going to say, for a rookie quarterback that really leans on Tank's talent to be productive, I think it is going to act with him a little bit. I like the Jets to cover too. Not adding it to my best bets though.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Jets cover.
All right, Bears 3-point dogs at home against the Lions. It is going to be a horrible weather game. It's going to be 25 degrees
and
right? Snowing. Correct.
I love that. That is so NFC North.
I love it. I cannot wait.
That is so Bears Lions football.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say, and John, feel free to hop on this with me. Let me paint you a little picture, right? Snowy, perfect Soldier Field. Justin Fields already struggles to throw the ball. Lions do a much better job of stopping the run than they do stopping the pass. The Bears had a lot of success when they played a few weeks ago with quarterback run. I think the Lions will be much more prepared for that. And knowing that they won't be able to throw it as easily, they'll be able to commit more guys to stopping that. I think that the Lions completely shut down the Bears offense, because that's all they're going to be able to do is try to rush Justin Fields, and I think we're going to shut it down. And the Lions, what do they do better than anybody in the league? Even when you know it's coming,
run the damn ball.
So give me the Lions, my best bet to cover the 3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to join you on that one. I think the Lions' run game in of itself is going to get this done. So
the reason that spread's so low is because of the Lions' weak defense the last few weeks. But what Vegas is maybe missing a little bit, and when they're creating that spread, is I don't think they realize the reason their defense is so bad is because of their ability to not rush the passer and to not defend the pass. They have help from Mother Nature.
I will say
both those things.
The other thing that Vegas is probably accounting for, but probably too much, is Goff is not a good cold quarterback. But okay, here's the defense to that. He beat Green Bay
kinda
at
proved
Lambeau.
he kind of did. Yeah, I mean, he's a California boy, but I've seen him play in some tough weather games, and he's won at Lambeau as a he's won at Lambeau as a Ram and as a Lion
Yeah.
and cold weather games, and I've seen him do well in Seattle. I've seen like
I'm
he's
just saying that's the speculation that's going on with it from a Vegas perspective. I don't
okay,
agree with it
reasonable,
personally.
reasonable.
And
I think the over under is probably pretty high in my
yeah,
opinion.
worth noting too, by the way, the Lions are undefeated in their all whites, their winter whites,
Dude, if
and
the Bears
they
wear
need to wear
orange,
that. They need to wear that, and the
if
Bears
the
should wear an alternate of some
if the
sort.
Bears wear
Yeah.
orange and the Lions wear their coquinas whites, oh my god, that could
Gorgeous.
be in the snow.
Yeah.
That you're talking about an all time matchup, a
I
huge
think in
missed
general,
opportunity.
the
If the
Lions have to wear that because it's snowing.
Yeah.
Like they got to come out. In the
oh
cold.
they have to wear the snow uniforms in the snow, and the Bears should do the right thing and wear the all orange. Do not screw. Chicago will screw this up. I fear.
Yeah.
They need to wear the all orange.
Regardless, the ice whites are going to look sick. I assume that's what the Lions are going to go with. All right, Rams at the Ravens. The Ravens are 7-point favorites. This is a weird game, man, because the Rams got a chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove, and I've been a huge fan of Baltimore, and I think they've been playing really good football. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for Sean McVay, but I don't think they cover here. I think they win still, but I think this game is going to be close, very, very close. That's my assumption.
I actually think the Ravens roll. I think the Ravens kill them.
Okay. I like it when you and I have, like, just generally speaking, different agreements on a team, and then we like check ourselves out of that for a particular situation in the opposite direction, right? Like, I think
dude, I just think that you give the Ravens that much time to prepare for Stafford and McVay, that causes problems for them. Historically, I think Stafford struggles when going against the teams that are coming off of a bye because they have added preparation and they can do some things, they can dial some things up that will force him to do some not so wise throws, and he'll try to make stuff happen when he probably shouldn't at times. So I don't know, man. I just feel like the Ravens come out firing in Baltimore. I just don't know how well the Rams match up against them on either side of the ball.
yeah, I don't think they match up super well either. But I do. Again, this team is in the playoff hunt. Like they can't afford to be losing too many games.
Is Puka out?
I don't think so.
I thought I saw he was hurt, but I don't know if
Let me see.
I don't know if he was playing, because that's another big loss. Because then you're
Yeah,
pretty
that is
one-dimensional.
massive. He is. No, he should be good. It sounds like he has like cramping and like mild hip injury,
I saw AC joint sprain.
AC joint sprain. Okay, I didn't see that. Maybe I was looking at the wrong article. I hate how they
Yeah,
make
AC
articles long instead of just telling you the information you're trying to find out.
I always just go to fantasy football apps. That's my quickest. Yeah, he's got a shoulder AC joint and he's questionable.
Okay, I did not see that. So got it.
So,
Um,
either way, play if he plays or not. I like the Ravens.
yeah. All right, we got the dead quarterback game, Jags at Browns. Browns are 3-point favorites at home. The under/over is 30.5 points.
Damn.
So
It's flirting with the Patriots Steelers for being the lowest.
yeah, and I don't know if I agree with this one because I mean both teams don't have great offenses, but I'm not going to touch this one from a spread perspective. There's way too many questions that I have. But
Who's the Jags backup Q? Who do they put in for Lawrence?
CJ Beathard?
He's actually not bad.
That is a hilarious last name. I mean,
On episode 69.
on episode 69, you got CJ Beathard playing against the Browns, missing their Beathard and Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry. Low hanging fruit. I like the Browns to cover here. I think they'll win this game. They're kind of at a point where they've lost a few they shouldn't. They need to win some.
I do too.
Not
I do
best
too.
bets though. Not best bets. Panthers at Saints. I think Saints win this game, and I think Saints cover. Derek Carr's probably going to miss this game in concussion protocol. That makes me feel more confident about this stake.
Jameis time.
Jameis time, Taysom time. Honestly, Taysom Hill,
That's a 1-2 punch if I've ever seen one.
100%. I'm a big fan of that combo as a Saints fan, frankly. So we'll see. Not adding to my best bets, but
I think the
yeah,
Panthers. I think the Panthers cover that.
think so. Interesting.
Yeah.
We got Get Money, Gardner Minshew at the Bengals. Bengals are 1 point dogs at home.
Wow.
Colts have been playing good football lately, but the Bengals just took it to the Jags too, so they're not out of the race yet. As long as who was it? Was it T Higgins that threw that interception? Just don't let him throw any passes. I guess. Crazy.
I like the Bengals here to win.
I'm not touching this one. I like the Colts to win, and by default cover because it's a 1 point game. So
Unless they win by 1.
right, which I guess could happen, but in that sense, it's a push anyways. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Cincinnati.
All right, we got Tampa at Atlanta. Atlanta's 2.5 point favorites. Another weird one to me. I kind of like the under in this game, but I think I'm not going to touch it again because Atlanta decides whether or not they want to be a good team on any given week, so I don't know what to project for.
Baker can also light it up. Like I've seen that Bucks offense have some
Right.
big days.
Yeah.
I kind of want to ride with the Bucks to cover and maybe even win. I don't trust Atlanta. I really don't. And Tampa does a pretty good job of stopping the run. Didn't we have this conversation? I feel like I had this exact conversation earlier this year.
Probably.
And I think I did put Tampa in my best bets when I had this conversation, and exactly what I said would happen did. They stopped Atlanta's run game. Atlanta couldn't do anything, and Baker did just enough to win. Will that same formula of success happen with the same way? Maybe not, but
Best bets?
no, not my best bets. But I think I'm going back. I am going to put Cincinnati in my best bets. That I think that they steal that game.
Interesting. All right, we got Hawks at San Fran. San Fran is minus 10.5 points, which I think is crazy based off of how the Seahawks just played Dallas. With that being said, San Fran's a freaking wagon.
You see how they played 2 weeks ago, though. I mean,
We never even covered the San Fran game because we said we were going to come back to it. I just realized from last week.
Well, let's talk about it right now.
Yeah. Their offense is unstoppable when healthy. Period. That Eagles defense is no joke, and they lit them up. It wasn't even close, and defense played good enough to make it that the tush push wasn't really, an effective way to work your way downfield. San Fran beating the Eagles at Philly. I mean,
that in that fashion, John, they scored like on their last 6 or 7 offensive drives, and they were all like 70-yard plus drives, and it was just beautiful offensive play calling. It was beautiful execution. It was running the ball, passing the ball. Like it was really, really high level stuff from Shanahan and these weapons he has. I want to shout out Deebo Samuel because he
talked a bunch of shit and then showed up.
Often when you talk a bunch of shit, you usually get exposed in this league. He stood on what he said, and he came out and balled out, and he had a day. And just I feel like the 49. I mean, John, when we had our live stream of this NFC Championship game, almost a full year ago now, when that injury happened, I kept saying, because we were both high on the Niners to go to the Super Bowl and to win it.
Right.
And when that happened, we were like, this is, these Eagles, like, this is a asterisk. Like, there's no matter how you spin it, I think, I still to this day think the 49ers would have won that game, barring that Purdy injury.
And probably could have / would have won the Super Bowl too. It sucks. But obviously they're not skipping a beat about it.
They're not skipping a beat about it, man. This was their chance to kind of make that statement right. And
moving
clearly
into
they
this
did.
Divisional game, they are now 10.5 point favorites against a divisional rival. when I feel like these big games against pretty good teams, I always kind of, have a little bit of pause. It's always tough when a spread's that big in a game this big too. But one thing that I tend to do just as a safety blanket, where I'm like, okay, I feel kind of, strongly, I just don't know which way I feel strongly. I'm going to take the over. And that has worked for me so far this season, I think 2 or 3 times. And so I'm going to give that a shot again, and we will see if it works out for me. Over into my best bets.
I don't hate that at all. I think the Seahawks cover 10.5, but I don't love it. I could also see the 49ers rolling because they tend to do that against Seattle. Seattle is like a team where every week they look like, hey, this team could do something. This team, could maybe steal a win or two in the playoffs. But then you see them play the 49ers and you think a completely different thing.
49ers own the Seahawks.
It's their kryptonite, dude. They
Yeah.
they don't have a chance in these games usually. So that's why you see the spread so high.
Moving on to Vikes Raiders. Raiders are 3-point dogs at home. Both teams have had 2 weeks to prepare for one another. Another situation where you have two backup quarterbacks filling in. I think the Vikings are not going to be able to handle Max Crosby, and I think the Raiders are going to win this game. And I feel confident enough about that to actually add that to my best bets as well. Now, one stipulation is they are getting Justin Jefferson back, and Raider secondary isn't very good. I don't think that matters if Josh Dobbs doesn't have time to throw the ball. So, take that for what you will.
I actually agree with you, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna take the Raiders +3. This is in Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that one. +3 at home against a Minnesota team with a backup quarterback that just lost and couldn't score against the Bears. Right? I mean,
I don't think Justin Jefferson is going to tip the scales that much.
I don't think he tips it that much either. A receiver can only do so much on his own. Speaking of other receivers that haven't really produced a lot and maybe could, Devontae Adams could have a huge game this week. Mm-hmm. We've been waiting for him. I'm sure in the bye week they were.
The
looking
vibes
at the film.
have been good since McDaniels has been fired. So
and a little inside secret too to people that don't understand, like during NFL bye weeks, like you get some time off as players, but the coaches are doing like what they call self-scouting. So the coaches will actually go back and watch the games as if they're going to play against themselves, and they'll find their own tendencies and they'll find things that people are going to. They basically predict what people are going to try to do to you, and they try to tweak things and have one play that looks exactly like a play they've run a lot of that's different. They'll find new ways to they'll decide, hey, what do we have to do, right? It's kind of like the crossing point in the season. So that's I think Devontae Adams is going to get more involved, and I think they're going to totally find ways to do that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, and again, why it's nice having a co-host that has been playing football at a high level his entire life. That's awesome insight.
And the Vikings were doing it too, by the way. But I think that they're in a weirder situation because they've had so much change player-wise. The Raiders players, I mean, it really has been kind of the same. They haven't had any major injuries besides their quarterback. So I think they'll have a better idea of what they want to do on both sides of the ball.
Sure. Bills at KC, 47.5. Bills have been playing a lot better football. They've had they were on bye this past week, weren't they? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Sulking after the Eagles loss.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 weeks to prepare. They've been playing better football. I mean, this is an interesting matchup here. I think I'm going to do the same thing, especially since I have to play a little catch up. I'm going to take the over for this game. I think a lot of points are going to get scored, despite Casey's issues.
Chiefs are coming off 2 losses in a row, aren't they? Eagles and Packers.
That's correct.
Do you think there's a world where Mahomes loses 3 straight games?
No, I think low probability of that.
Give me Chiefs best bet.
Chiefs to cover.
It's now or never for Mahomes. Now or never for Taylor Swift and her fans, because if they don't figure it out, she will forever be blamed for the downfall of this dynasty. It's just crazy to say. I might get killed for saying that. But no, seriously, like they need to figure it out. They've lost 2 straight. This is back at Arrowhead. They'll rise up to the occasion. There's definitely a Josh Allen Mahomes rivalry that has stemmed from many seasons ago. It's time though. The Chiefs have to get right. Their defense will, I think, Josh Allen turnover prone, right? That's a very good defense that creates turnovers, and Mahomes has to get back somehow to a winning formula. And I think Andy Reid and him and Kelsey and the boys find a way to do that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Broncos at Chargers. Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. The Broncos have been playing better ball overall. This is a tough one, man.
Chargers are favored?
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to even consider doing. I don't know what you're thinking about doing, but if you're thinking about what I think you're thinking about, and if you're thinking about taking the Broncos, I might.
No, I'm not
freak
doing
out.
that. We've learned enough lessons there. I was thinking about taking the Chargers, but I think that Brandon Staley's performance was so piss poor against the Patriots that I just can't get behind that. I think the Broncos are. And guess what, by the way, since both of us are scared to take this game, you're going to freaking watch the Broncos go and win it probably.
You should test the theory and go, you should fade my Broncos curse, and you should take the Broncos.
I think it's a practice squad Broncos curse, frankly.
You haven't taken the Broncos, though. You refuse to.
And I'm not going to do it this game. If I see an opportunity,
I feel like you should do it. I feel like you should do it.
Yeah, but I don't trust you because last time you bold me to do it back, it didn't go very well. So I like the Chargers.
Yeah, but I don't trust you. It's like, yeah, man, you're my friend and all, but I don't trust you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust me either. No, but if you want to win money, you should trust me. You should definitely ride my picks.
Source, trust me, bro.
Trust the numbers, bro. Stats, math.
Hey, I've been telling you to buy Bitcoin for a long time now.
Yeah.
You should
trust me. I would rather I trust my football brain more than my Bitcoin brain.
And I'm the other way around, so that's.
Hey, but you're 26 and 26. This is a big week for you.
I think you had Denver. You see, I'm getting aggressive right now.
I think you had Denver to your best bets, and I think that puts you over the edge. I think it puts you over the edge.
I think I'm going to move on to the Eagles-Cowboys. Okay. This game has a 53-point over, which is crazy, and then Dallas is favored by 3.5 points. Honestly, this game can go either way. Even on the point scoring front, I'm not feeling super confident about that because this is the second time this team has played each other, so they've got things probably a little bit more figured out. Both have great front sevens with not as great secondaries, but enough to make things happen. Yeah, I'm not touching this one, but I will say that I do like Philly to cover. But this one's going to come down to the wire, man.
This line being 3.5 is tough.
Yeah, because like 3.
If it were 2.5 or 3, I would
feel
pretty safe. I'm going to take Philly to cover. I'm not going to put in my best bets. I do think Dallas wins this game somehow, and I do think it spices up the top of the NFC in ways that you can't imagine.
Very exciting stuff.
And the MVP race. This is basically an MVP game because if Jalen Hurts wins this game and then the Eagles continue to win and get the 1 seed, or if Dallas wins and Dak and those boys keep winning, I pretty much think that that's your MVP, barring Tyreek Hill going for like 2,200 yards.
Well, and speaking of, right, I mean, we got to have a conversation about Tyreek Hill maybe adding another 150, 200 against the Titans this week as well. I think the Dolphins have a good shot to cover here. I don't know if I feel confident enough about it to put it in my best bets, but I think they win by 2 touchdowns here. I think the Titans are about to kind of.
The Titans are terrible on the road.
Yeah. And I think they're
and Miami just lights it. Dude, Miami just lights it up at home.
Yeah,
it's like perfectly warm weather. I mean, half the guys there are on their offense are from Florida, so they're just like playing in their home roots. Like it's just
vibes are strong. Yeah,
yeah. I'm not going to put in my best bets, but I would take the Dolphins.
Yeah, I like them to cover, but not best bets level conviction. Best bets level conviction right here. I do like Green Bay to cover here. Adding
Really?
it to my best bets. Lock it up.
I
Yeah, Giants are horrible. And if you remember, Giants snuck one out overseas against Green Bay last year. I think they got a bad taste in their mouth about that. I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, but do you think they cover 7?
Yes, they just beat KC by that much, did they not?
Yeah, but that was at Lambeau Field, and I don't know, man. I just the Packers have looked good now 2 games in a row, like really good 2 games in a row. They should do it again, but I kind of feel like the Giants are like a bad team that just gives them like a weird shaky week. I'm not saying the Packers don't win. I'm saying that I think the Giants maybe sneak cover.
Okay, fair.
Like some bullshit garbage time, field goal or something that
Sure.
makes it a 6-point game or something.
I think Tyrod Taylor might be back for them too, so that's worth keeping an eye on.
I mean, DeVito's had it figured out, man. Italian Stallion.